back to the Shoogly shed for the first time in quite a long time actually. I'm just filming this on my phone as a little update because I haven't actually posted anything on my channel for a number of months now actually. Basically I kind of finished the GS 500 build and then hit a bit of a roadblock, sort of mentally, motivationally, and also just sort of physically and financially. I was a bit drained after the last build, so I kind of just wanted to fill you in on where I'm at just now. I had a bit of a nightmare with the GS 500. I was moving some stuff around in the garage and I accidentally knocked it over. I had it up like this. The side stand's quite short, so the bike leans fairly far, and this is a pretty uneven floor, so it leans even further on this floor. So I had it up like that on a block of wood, and I just knocked it and it fell like that way. It fell away from me and it landed on that paddock stand and a pile of tools, and it totally trashed the tank. The tank just got dented really badly across here. It cracked the cover here, the ignition cover, scraped the frame, and a couple other bits and bobs. It snapped the brake lever and things. Totally did a number on the bike, and the past couple of months I've just been fixing it back up, which has been a little bit soul destroying after putting all that hard work in. But I actually had a spare ignition cover, so I sprayed that the right colour, fitted that, got a new brake lever fitted. The tank was the real issue. I just about got the motivation to go ahead and strip it and fix it. When I was draining the fuel, the tank fell off the stool that I had it on. As the fuel drained, the weight displacement changed and the tank tipped and it fell backwards, and then this whole area of the tank got sunken in and dented and depressed and totally wrecked. All the paint just got destroyed, and frankly that just put my motivation right back to zero. So in a bid to try and boost my motivation, I had the tank repaired professionally by a friend of mine, Graham Johnson, Graham's Bike Painting and Restoration on Facebook. If you check him out, if you're local to Glasgow, he does a really good job, and he fixed all the dents, resprayed it. I'll just put my greasy handprints all over it, fuck's sake. Yeah, completely resprayed it, polished it, and it is actually, it's even better than the finish I had in the first instance. So thanks for that, Graham. You really kind of helped me out a bunch there, and definitely boosted my motivation. So with the damage from the fall repaired, I got back to what I had been doing, which was trying to tune the bike. The carbs had been running really rich, and I couldn't really get to the bottom of the issue because all the usual things that would fix that issue didn't seem to be helping. Float heights were a little bit out, but I fixed that and it still didn't seem to make much of a difference. The mixture screws didn't seem to be making any difference either. So I went through a number of different diagnostics and eventually managed to get the left-hand cylinder to run perfectly. The spark plug's lovely cookie brown, but the right-hand cylinder is still running a bit rich, and I've kind of gotten to the bottom of my knowledge with regards to that, and I've asked a few friends as well. I've had colour tunes and things like that, and none of us can seem to figure out what's going on with it. It's a bit strange, but we'll get there in the end. But it does mean the bike is rideable just now. Just the right hand cylinder is just a little bit rich. Aside from that, I still haven't really managed to get it out on a proper shakedown ride, which is, you know, not ideal because I've had this bike built now for a few months and I haven't really managed to enjoy it yet. But I'm hoping hopefully in the next week or so I can get that ironed out and then actually take it for a wee spin, which I'm really looking forward to finally. A little bit of riding that I've done on it so far, it's really fun bike to ride, so hopefully it will be a little bit of fun. The other thing I've been spending my time on recently is this 1999 Kawasaki ZX6R, which belongs to a friend of mine. It actually got parked up in 2007 in his parents' barn and has been sat there since. So really it's only like an 8-year-old bike and it's not been on the road since 2007. So it's actually in pretty good condition. All it needed was recommissioning. So things like the carbs needed cleaned, all four of them. Been sat with fuel in it, so they'd kind of gummed up a little bit. They needed cleaned. The fork seals were away, so they needed repaired. It was dropped at some point, and the indicators were smashed off. So brand new indicators. What else? It needs a new battery, which is still in the post. Aside from that, a few other bits and bobs. Back brake got rebuilt, and a few other things like that. But it's running nicely, and it's due for an MOT now. And actually, it's not really my style of bike, but it's pretty cool to work on something like this. Something I don't get a chance to work on very often. And it was just a little bit of furthering my knowledge on such bikes, so that was cool. Thanks for that opportunity, Ian. But I'll hopefully get a wee shot on this when it's MOT'd, just to see what it's like to ride a crotch rocket like this. I don't think I've actually ridden anything quite as fast as this bike, so that would be quite fun just to see what that's like. And the rest of the time I've just been tinkering away with the XS250 as well. A couple of wee upgrades. These little mirrors used to have the big mags on it, but I got rid of them and put these wee underslung mirrors on, similar to what's on the GS. I quite like the ones in the GS, so I thought I'd just stick these on here as well, and I quite like the kind of clean look you get up here. I redid the tank. I stripped the old lacquer off it, gave it a good rough up with 120 grit sandpaper to get that kind of rough brushed effect, and then sprayed it. So it's a bit more refreshed now. And then I sewed a new seat for it with my newfound upholstery skills. It also has a new license plate holder as well, because the one at the back, the kind of arm that came out, actually sheared off mid-ride. That was interesting. So I've kind of redesigned that and just gone for a sort of side-mounted one, which is pretty cool, and I think a bit of a better solution, to be honest. Aside from that, this bike's running really nicely, actually. I've finally kind of tuned it a little bit better, and it's a really fun little bike to ride, a wee 250. It's not fast, it's not going to win any races, but I really enjoy just pootling about on it. So it's actually one of my favourites of the fleet just now. See, that's kind of where I'm at. I've sort of finished most of my projects on both the bikes, to be honest, and that ZX is done as well, and that will be getting an MOT and shifted out of here pretty soon. So I'm kind of starting to see a bit of motivation return, and hopefully we'll get that kind of psych back up to maybe take on another project fairly soon. I know that Ian, whose bike the ZX6 is quite keen to put together some kind of brat project kind of thing, so maybe take on something like that. But for the time being, I probably want to try and just get out on the bikes a wee bit, enjoy the nice weather we've been having, and actually put some time on the saddle, which I haven't done in a fair amount of time now. But yeah, hopefully you can forgive me for the lack of content recently, and I'm hoping that it won't be too long before I have something else in the pipeline that I can take you along for the ride with. But until then, as usual, feel free to give me a like, leave me a comment, and subscribe to the channel, so you don't miss anything I come up with in the future. And also check out all the other videos I have on there. If you've not watched the build series for the GS, check that out. There's a good time-lapse recap as well if you are short on time. But yeah, thanks for the support as always. Check me out on Instagram as well for my sort of day-to-day updates as well. And I will see you hopefully in the not too distant future. Take care, ride safe if you're out enjoying the weather, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye.